No one knows better how to weave a beautiful tapestry, be it in fabric of a saree or in the very fabric of a marriage that has lasted 30 years. Meet Roli and Vikash Mehra, founders of Roliana, a Banarasi saree brand that is today supporting many indigenous artisans and weavers adept at creating Banarasi silk, thereby nurturing a craft that would not have survived the onslaught of machines. It is their dedication and determination to keep this heritage of Banarasi handloom alive. So we caught up with the couple in a recent exhibition in Mumbai where they were showcasing some of their choicest weaves at the Pause for Cause event hosted by the Nehru Centre in Mumbai's Worli. I have known Roli and Vikash Mehra for quite a long time, and there's one thing that has struck me about them. It's how flawlessly they get along, whether it is at work or at home. There's something that is flowing so naturally. And this is something I've always talked about, that in relationships, you know it is right when nobody has to try. Things are seamless, things are flowing. And therefore, no wonder that Roliana, a brand that Roli and Vikash runs together, is now turning 18. And they are married for over 3 decades. Let me quickly introduce. Hi, Roli. Hi, Vikash.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
You are just the right couple to feature in our program, which we call Jugalbandi.
Oh, lovely.
That's so Banaras. The name is so Banaras.
It is. And the reason we call it Jugalbandi is we want to feature couples who work in sync, like how you play the instruments in sync.
Yeah.
So I felt as if that is what you do. So tell us about Roliana. How did it start? Whose idea was it?
Actually, a very impromptu kind of a thing. My daughter was going to a boarding school and I had time on my hands. So, and we were coming from Banaras. So it is a family business. I thought, let me just take it to people, because at that time, Banaras was thought as to be a very auntie brand. They used to say that people who are very elderly only wear Banaras. So I just wanted to make it more contemporary, getting it to places so that people see how beautiful our textiles are.
And I want to tell my audience that today some of the big names and better known socialites, the Shobha days of this world, wear Roliana. I will show those pictures as well. You must be so proud that you've reached that level.
It's been a good journey and it's been a very rewarding journey, actually.
And a very honest journey. We haven't gone to people. It's all word of mouth, low budgeted, giving it back to the society, giving it back to the weavers. No magazines we would
Tell
call.
us about that. Like, how do you put things together? Is everything manufactured in Banaras? Where is your main workstation?
So, at Banaras, in Banaras. And what we do is that we have made it a little contemporary. That the designs that we weave are all very, very old designs which have been coming through generations. But on top of that, we do a thing called hand painting on it to make it more contemporary and unique, actually. And in that process, what we are doing is that we are training unskilled workers.
That's commendable.
And we are getting women from their households to our factory, and we are training them how to do it. So what we call skill in India, made in India,
You've
women
been doing
empowerment,
it before these terms came
all
into
this has
existence.
been, all these apply to our brand and women entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
all of these are encompassed in our brand.
Yeah.
But
I have, of course, seen your work, Roli, and I want to ask Vikash that how do you do the division of roles? Like, who does what? Who conceptualizes? Who executes? Who handles the finances? How does it work?
So let me just tell you, my husband is the PR guy.
He's the PR. Vikash, you tell me. Are you reconciled to it? Is Roli calling the shots all the time?
So Afrida, as you know us from a very, like almost now 20 years plus. So we are the prim and proper, polite, from Darjeeling. Have had a lot of, we stick to our roots, very particular about what we do. And I'll tell you, our school has taught us to walk with dignity, pride. And that's what
What
we
are you
do.
getting at?
Oh,
That
no.
you allow Roli to take the lead. You're the gentleman.
Yes, the gentleman that we are. It was very important that she comes over because we are now the third generation. into this business.
Yeah.
So I used to travel a lot with the czar of Indian textiles, Mr. Sushil Kumar, who has a shop in the Indian textiles company at Taj. Now, for me, or for anybody who knows him, it's like getting educated to the Harvard of textiles. That was my experience. Very fortunate I was with him. So I learned it, international marketing, Indian marketing, all under his umbrella. Now, on saying
So are you
that-
the Margdarshak primarily? Is that what you do?
that she will tell.
So I come from a lawyer family.
Yeah.
There was no inch of textiles in the family that I come from. But when I when I got married, then slowly I got myself interested, and probably I was like a sponge. So
You absorbed everything.
I just absorbed everything, and now I think I'm very proud of the fact that I can conceptualize, as he can say, that I can conceptualize colors, designs. Being from the women,
Yeah.
perspective, I know what is going to do well
Yeah.
and everything. So,
Yeah.
So So
You've got a grasp of the market
Right,
and you know the
right.
pulse of the
Yes,
people.
yes.
And Vikash is
and
that
Vikash is my PR
support
guy.
system. He's the PR.
PR is one thing. It's just because I've traveled so much in
Yeah.
international brands.
You have subject matter expertise because
Yes.
of the
Yes.
years
You know,
of dealing with textiles.
buyers, with
Yeah.
international brands, when things were so not available.
True.
That time we used to be doing hand painting for big names like Emmanuel Ungaro, Karstadt in Germany, and Romeo Gilli. These were like Versace, Ralph Lauren. These were the people who would come to us when there was no digital movement. There was nothing in
Just
machine. It was all treasure hunting. We used to be like few people in India जो ये सब काम कर रहे हैं. And we were respected for what we were doing. The industry respected us for what my father is doing, I'm doing. Now, on saying that, I saw the community of Banaras last 20 years back falling, going into machine. Everybody was so money-minded. If this product is not doing well, I'm substituting for machine. Poor weavers, where do they go? That's when her master, Mr. Said ur Rahman, as we proudly say, he is the legend of Varanasi silk, the designer. We went to him and we said, what's going on? And he said, well, it's very sad, but now we need to revive and promote the art to the next level. And that's when we changed our name, company's name, Rambhaj Roshanlal Sarees, to Roliana.
Okay.
Giving it a nice
How
young
nice
looking,
of you to keep Roli's name in the brand. I'm imagining that's how
We
it
have
must
Roli
have.
books,
Yeah.
then we have
Roli
Roliana.
brand,
So
yes.
Roliana is actually Roli plus Anahita. So that's Roliana.
That's your daughter's name.
Yes, my daughter's.
You
So
know
we
what
gave it a
struck me
nice
just now
catchy
from
name.
what you said, what just struck me is that it was perhaps, what do you call it? Divine intervention that Roli had to come to your life, somebody who also took such a keen interest in this. It could have been coming from a lawyer family that she had no interest in textiles or this business at all.
Yeah,
but
but
she
then-
actively
Yeah.
joined this
Afrida, like
trade.
you're from Assam. Your sense of fashion, everything is so sophisticated.
Thank you so
know,
much.
it's always been there. I've always been attracted to that cream on cream, off whites. You're a
Thank
person.
you.
See yourself right now, what you wear. So Roli also follows that path of.
Yeah.
So she was very sophisticated and she understood weaves. She understood color palettes. It was in her, and she used to draw a lot. So it just started like this, and she came in and she was welcomed by Mr. Said, who's the master of weavers. She was welcomed by him. And Frida, she started visiting with very low budget, financial stresses. How do we go about this? In Banaras, people were not willing to give us goods. They would laugh at her. Aapka itna bada naam hai. Aap Roliana kyun kar rahe hain? So we explained to them.
So that was 18 years ago.
Yeah, we explained
And
to
today
them.
when you
When
think
I
of
Aap
started-
brand
designing,
kyun bana rahe hain?
I wanted to say that when I started, women were hardly there in the industry. So I
Hardly there weren't any.
there weren't any actually
Banaras
at that
at least.
time. And so initial 6 months, 8 months, so I had to just go and people would just look through me. They would talk to him. They
Yeah,
would not
that
talk to me.
happens. I can
They would not
understand.
talk to me only. They wouldn't take me seriously. But then slowly, I had to slowly, but surely, then they understood that I had some substance and I was talking sense. And now I can proudly
I'm
say.
sure. And I'm so
that-
glad
It
that
was
we
a
are
very
meeting you at this
money-minded,
juncture.
it was a very money-minded thought in Banaras. Vikash Roli को माल देंगे, payment आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. For God's sake, I used to tell them that listen, you've got 100 crore turnover. Give us that 1 lakh, 10 lakh turnover. Let us promote the brand in a more sophisticated way because we are very well connected. So we needed to show something really exclusive.
Also,
So
this
it's
is
been a
very
very interesting
indigenous
So
and
it's been a very interesting journey, Afrida.
Yeah.
You know how we used to come here,
Yeah.
Shobha Day, and you know there was so many. Shobha Day was beautiful.
Yeah.
She really helped us. Mrs. Jaya Bachchan,
Yeah.
with due respect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs.
We'll try and
Subbalakshmi
pull out some
Khan,
of those pictures to
Yeah.
show our
Mrs.
audience.
Subbalakshmi Khan,
Yes.
she just pushed Jayaji to
Yeah.
do an exhibition. And Jayaji doing an exhibition was a serious time. And she gave her a promotion like how?
Yeah.
So what has really struck me, I must tell you both, that when I look at Roliana sarees, I see something very quintessentially Indian.
Yes.
You know, the spirit of India, the colors of India,
Yes.
and the weaves, the patterns. So for me, it's something ours, you know, like indigenous.
Yes.
So I feel that there's a sense of pride one should associate with the fact that here is something you're presenting to the world,
Yes.
which is very Indian in
Yes.
its very essence.
So in this time and age, I'm seeing anything is selling. A zebra is selling. A pyramid with a peacock is selling. We have made a conscious decision that we are going to stick to what is quintessentially Banarasi. Do something which is in sync with what our culture, what our tradition was.
And you've not deviated from
I
that.
have
You've not tried to modernize
even to the
beyond that.
detriment
I don't
of
wanna do it.
our brand at some point because there's power loom everywhere. People are making what we make for a hand painted and a hand woven piece, which comes of course more expensive. It's very easy to copy that in a power loom thing for maybe 1/3 the price.
But you have not
But we have
compromised.
not done it because we feel that if we are also going to get into that, then
Yeah.
who's going to be
That's why, you know, what I said was when you try and preserve this tradition, it's always going to be fraught with challenges.
So for me, my motto is slow fashion. Nothing fast about us.
And that's why, you know, I'm shouting. Actually, I catch corporates and I tell them, listen, see us. Please see us, support us, hear us, and give us a hand.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend money in making a commercial brand, then branding it and doing all kinds of other things. No. Respect what we are doing and come to us with more sensitivity and kindness.
You need that support
I need
system
that
as well.
corporate
You can't
body.
exist in a vacuum.
Because this requires a lot of investments because weavers require, our laborers require. It's all hand that we are doing, and it's nothing that today I'll put it and tomorrow it's going to come.
Yeah.
It takes time.
I really appreciate what Roli just said, that, you know, she can do this with a machine and she can do it in probably less than half the time. She's chosen not to. And that is something we must understand, that there are people in this country who on their own accord, on their own initiative, have been trying to preserve certain traditions. Are they getting enough support? I want to know, in the textile industry, Vikash, what are the things that people face? I mean, it's one thing to be motivated because it's your passion project, but you do need some support coming your way, you know, especially when you are driven with a project like this.
Well, it does get frustrating at times, actually.
Very. Well, I feel the bigger, let me put it like this. When Mr. Modi came in, with due respect, he started this Handloom Week, Handloom Day. Oh, we were invited at St. Regis for this Handloom Day to represent Varanasi on a global platform.
Yeah.
She was like, Vikash, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
There's so many big players. I'm a little one. I said, Roli, the government has seen something in you to invite you and not the rest, with due respect to them. There is that quality. So do it. With a lot of courage, she managed to. See, nobody was taking us that seriously. And then the Association of Varanasi Silk, Mr. Ashok Dhawan, he pushed her, encouraged her. Mr. Vaibhav Kapoor, I will always owe this name a lot of respect. They kind of pushed her to come forward in this global platform. And that was a turning point for her. It was like fabulous.
Yeah.
The best weavers of Banaras came to her and gave her sarees to display.
So you
at the
have got
Roliana.
some amount of support, you would
Yes,
say,
yes,
from
of course,
the
of
government.
course,
Hello,
of course.
the government did it then. You know what happened then? These designers came in, with due respect. We don't need you guys. I used to always tell the association, we
And
are
there is
designers.
always a poor copy of.
I
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
the designers. They cut silhouettes. They are silhouette people. We are the designers. Leave us alone. But they came in and I feel they destroyed it.
So you are saying there should be a system of perhaps surveillance, perhaps regulation,
Yes,
where the
definitely.
authentic, where you need to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Definitely.
Because an ordinary consumer may not know that.
Yes.
And in order that you do the authentic work, you need that sort of a crackdown, which again, you can't do yourself.
Like in COVID times, all these weavers started approaching, getting onto Instagram and putting their stuff out on the social media platforms. And what happened was the public in general, they couldn't get out, so they were shopping online. And so many people have come to me and told me that these weavers were, since they knew that the potential is there, so they were selling them rejected stuff. Sometimes they were selling them this polyester zari and all that, and they said we were duped, but there's no regulation. So then we suffer that ways. So there's
Yeah.
no regulation. So of course there should be a little bit of regulation. This Surat is copying this one, everywhere Banaras is being copied.
So those are the real challenges you
Yes,
face on
We
a,
face.
in
Yeah.
your day-to-day
And that's when the
business.
government should come. It's very difficult to, go in that government path.
There is an entire textile department, by the way. I mean,
Yes.
it's all being supported with
So
the
now we've
taxpayers'
started
money.
a
That's the least they
hallmark
can
thing.
do. That there
They
should
should
be
come to us.
a support.
Like I'm telling you, if I'm very influential, then they come. But if you're creative, come to us. You have to look for creative people.
Yeah.
Not
Okay,
for
Vikash, now we are going to
influential.
come to the marriage part of it. What I got to know from you, and when you were talking, I was processing it as, look how much Vikash has supported Roli. When you said that she was nervous and you said, no, you can do it. So that brings me now to the other part of this Jugalbandi, where I want to talk about your partnership, your marriage. How does it work, Roli? You tell me that, you're working together and you are married. I mean, people can't sustain marriages. Ek shadi nahi chalti, yahan do shadiyan. That's what I'm
ask.
saying.
Don't ask. It's not been a cakewalk.
No?
It's been a bed
Okay.
of thorns.
Okay.
But yeah, we are two very different people. So what makes us good together is that he fills up for the spaces I lack, and I fill up for the spaces that
That's
he lacks.
beautiful.
So
That's a great
like my
compliment.
daughter
Yeah.
says that you both as a team are unbeatable, because what I can do he can't, what he can do I can't.
And that's what you need.
yeah.
So a couple of concluding questions. One, I want to know from both of you,
Yeah.
Every couple has a rhythm. Every successful one. I mean, you're married for 3 decades. Certainly there has been a rhythm which has kept you going. What would you describe it as?
For me, that rhythm has been adjustment, probably.
Adjusting to wherever Vikash
Because
feels you have to come
he's
in.
the demanding one, I feel, and probably he'll also
I
confirm.
will say that my high expectations from Roli can get stressful for her, I know. Now, with age, she's realized that I can't meet all the expectations and she withdraws. I have to accept that. Early on, I would get hyper, but that spark which I used to give her, that Roli, that's the limit. Reach there.
Yeah.
That pushed her,
Yeah.
that was my motivation.
So you are the wind beneath the wings. I mean, both for the other.
Yes.
Each for the other.
Yes, definitely.
That's
so.
fantastic. I want to just end with one final thing from each one of you. What would you like to tell people, young couples who want to start doing things together, but they are worried, kaise chalega? If we start working together, there'll be conflicts. How do we get along at home and at work? What would you say, Roli, to those young people?
Yeah, so I know that it is a very difficult thing because you tend to take your spouse for granted,
Yeah.
which you can't do with your staff because you always feel they can walk out anytime. What will I do? But the spouse is taken a little for granted. Nowadays, couples, of course, the couples
Dynamics
also
are
walk out
different.
as usual.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about my set of things. So I feel adjustment is the key to a thing, and of course, ego has to be put
At bay,
at
a lot of
bay.
times.
Yeah.
Yes, ego has to be put at bay. And I want to tell every youngster that first, promote India, promote Indian craft. Start, be serious in that. Be serious about your passion. As a husband and wife, don't have expectations. Work as a team. And you all have to struggle the journey. Every day is
It
a struggle.
cannot be an
It
easy
cannot
walk.
be,
No.
It's not a walk in the
Yeah.
park.
And I
No.
think if you're true to your work and if you're passionate enough, no obstacle is
No
big
obstacle
enough.
is big enough. So
See,
beautifully
we
said.
can reach you today. That's such a privilege.
Thank you so much, Roli. Thank you, Vikash. Great pleasure talking to the two of you.
Pleasure.
I want to end by saying one thing over and above what both of them said, and that is this. There is an inner desire to make it work, and that I can see in both of them. I'm sure you could see it too. Thanks for watching Jugalbandi.